Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Tuesday, June 2nd. Hey, let me just say I'm sorry I missed you guys yesterday. Had a family emergency pop up I had to deal with first thing yesterday morning. But hey, it is June of 2020. Hard to believe that we are already there. A lot of stuff yesterday ended up being a good day. Today seems to be like we're going to follow through even further. So there's a lot of optimism, a lot of hope out there right now that's driving the marketplace. I'm glad you joined us today. Looking forward to our conversation with Dave here in just a moment and discussing what's happening in the economy.
And died over there. We're at 8:38. It's 22 now before 9. Let's check in on money and see what's happening on Wall Street. Yes, the man is here. Phillip Statler is in the offices at Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring. Phillip, good morning. Good to have you here this morning. Glad you're here.
Good morning, Dave. Glad to be back in the seat this morning. Hey, and welcome to June. I missed being able to say that yesterday. As we head into June of 2020, it's hard to believe that that's where we are right now.
It really and truly is. And yesterday morning while I was soloing in here, I didn't see any indications as to where we were going to go because we were pretty much hovering either side of the zero line as investors kind of sat on their hands to see what the Sam Hill was going to go on and what kind of a reaction we were going to have to world events over the weekend. Ended up a modestly green day on... And a normal time, we'd say it was a good day. Dow was up by 91 points. NASDAQ was up by 62. Standard & Poor's was up by 11.5. All three green ink. And in more normal times, we'd say a good day. As volatile as we've been, I guess it was just a modestly green day by recent standards, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. We've come to accustomed to 2-3% swings, and so we get kind of what we got yesterday, and it's like, okay, well, it was good. It was an okay day, but nothing to get excited about.
Yeah, our standards have kind of changed. Hey, we were kind of comparing notes on news items that we saw before we went on the air. I was watching the CDC and the WHO flooding the world with press releases saying, no, the coronavirus hasn't lost its potency. It's still a killer, yada, yada, yada. At the same time, I do have to note the fact that the number of deaths, at the very least on the Florida count, has been declining day by day lately, which brings up a point that was the article that they were all responding to that you saw. There's an Italian doctor with an interesting outlook, isn't it?
There is, and he is from what I could tell, he's a pretty famous and well-respected a doctor in Italy. Matter of fact, he was the doctor of the past president of Italy, and so he's got a pretty good following. But he came out and said basically, and some of the tests and research he's done the last 30 days is that the coronavirus is no longer a virus. Now, I don't know how you can just say it's not a virus anymore, but his point was that it has lost its potency. It is not the same virus it was. It's not as strong as it was at the very beginning. Now, this is what he's saying, not what I'm saying, but that's his point, and that's what's caused all the flack that you're seeing, Dave, out there in the news media.
It was kind of interesting because I didn't see what they were responding to, but I found it fascinating. And without saying this fellow is a tinfoil hat fruitcake, and it sounds like by his qualifications that he's not, it is a fact and something we know because we'd seen some morphing earlier. Viruses do evolve and morph through their lifetime. It got more potent, according to some readings, about midway through the rise upward in cases in our country. So depotency of it through one morphing of it, that it's not out of the realm of reason, although it certainly hasn't been peer-reviewed yet.
Well, that's right. Nobody's actually done it there and kind of second guessed it and taken another look at it. But it did cause some items of interest to at least kind of consider.
Absolutely, and as I said, it's not abnormal because it's inevitable that viruses do morph and evolve through their lifetime. Sometimes more potent, sometimes less potent, and it would be manna from heaven if this time the thing is actually morphing to a less potent state, and it's certainly cause for some optimism. Hey, looking at economic news as we go down the line, one thing that happened after I got off the air with the report yesterday, we got a report on construction spending, and it sounds like it's following the trend. Armageddon-level crummy numbers, but better than they expected, huh?
Yeah, and I would say it's a lot better than expected, Dave. The expectation was that construction spending would have fallen 7.1%, and it didn't. It fell less than 3%. 2.9% was what it fell. So that was significantly better than what was expected. The other number that came out, I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but the ISM manufacturing number came out at 43.1, which was right in line with what was expected yesterday.
That's good to hear. Below 50, I think, is considered contraction, which should be no surprise to anybody. But again, given the unemployment numbers we saw and all the really, really crummy numbers we've gotten, if it's a decrease that's less than we expected, especially when you're talking about construction and all the ancillary business that generates, that's good news that we're not crashing as badly as we'd thought.
Definitely, especially in the manufacturing, especially in that sector, and the construction being better than expected. Those are two key sectors.
Without a doubt. Speaking of key sectors, something we're going to be seeing a little later on today, we're going to get our first blush at auto sales in the teeth of the recession, and I don't think anybody's really looking forward to that, are they?
Probably not. I'm guessing that it's not going to quite fare where we would think it would. But I will tell you that right now, the consensus estimate is that it's up. I mean, they expect to come in at 11.2. I don't, so that's over 1 million, I think, of vehicle sales. So it'll be interesting to see what the number actually comes in at.
Absolutely. Given the stories that I'm hearing about the difficulties the manufacturers are having selling and all the credit incentives out there, I was expecting an Armageddon level number to be really nice if we could actually see some growth off of the current campaigns, wouldn't it?
It would. And I think, a lot of people most likely have those that had not lost their jobs and were still getting a paycheck and then got stimulus money. There's a lot of extra cash floating around for folks, and if they got their tax refund too, those are things that could have been applied to in the purchase of a new vehicle.
Well, we did see that on retail sales, a pleasant surprise on that earlier in the week, or early in the month rather. So it'd be rather nice to see that continue into a big ticket item like auto sales, because that's a sector that we've been nervous about. Got a couple of reports that are out this morning. It's kind of an interesting combination. We start out with some big retail. I gather Dick's Sporting Goods reported. How did they do?
They did. As with most retail operations that are brick and mortar, they missed. They lost 62 cents a share versus the 57 that was expected. Revenue and same-store sales missed estimates also, which is to be expected. Here's where I think they did well, though. They saw a 110% surge in their e-commerce sales during the quarter, and so that helped them. And then the actual retail part before everything got closed down was very strong for them. So they did have some good things that happened during the quarter. Just the end of it really with the coronavirus really hurt them. And so they're getting a little bit of a bump today. They're up 1.7%.
That's good to hear. Other indications we got is we're kind of at the end of earnings season, obviously.
Yeah, we are. So the last one I have today is Land's End. And they came out with a preliminary report. I don't know if they're still doing some revisions or not, but they said they lost 64 cents a share, which was more than the 56 they were expected to have lost. Revenue was slightly below what the forecast was. They saw a good, again, kind of like Dick's Sporting Goods. At the beginning of the quarter, they saw huge increases in their same-store sales. As a matter of fact, they were up like 14.2% in February before they had to close everything down mid-March. So they kind of started out with a bang and ended with a bust. But they're trading up 0.4% this morning. They were up almost 15% yesterday, though.
Wow. I guess I'm a little surprised that they actually even lost, given the fact that Land's End is one of the companies that's kind of built on the e-commerce business model before it was cool.
Well, that's true. That's true. They have been for a long time.
Kind of intriguing. Yeah, we're another up day looking on the futures this morning. Jim Cramer had an interesting thing, and I've always found Jim Cramer annoying to watch in terms of personality. but every once in a while he hits it right. Everybody looks at their Facebook page and their Twitter feed and says, oh my Lord, the world is ending, downtown and big cities are burning, and even as close as Lakeland, we've got unrest with fires being set. And what the Sam Hill is Wall Street doing is Wall Street doing going up? Kramer said something that you and I have said for a long time. Money hasn't got a conscience. It doesn't invest for social change. Money just goes to find where other money is, where it can get together and make more money, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the same thing Mr. Wonderful says, right, on Shark Tank.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not a social media money isn't, and the stock market's proving it after a green day yesterday. 45 minutes before we open up this morning on a relatively slow week for the first week of a month. It'll get busy at the end of it all, but we're taking a pause for the moment. Where are we heading 45 minutes early, Phillip?
It looks like, Dave, we're going to continue that green streak this morning, and kind of in the same range. We've got the Dow up about 0.4%. That's $110. The S&P 500 is up about 1/3%. That's almost $9. We've got the NASDAQ kind of falling behind everybody else, up less than 0.1% at $3.25. So they're slacking a little bit there this morning. On the commodities side, we've got gold and silver both retreating a little bit today. Silver is actually down about 0.6. Gold we can really call even, less than 0.01%. So not much change there. Crude oil, though, having a significant increase this morning of 1.5% to about $36 a barrel.
Only $5 a barrel more before we can start talking about opening the oil fields in our country. That's not bad news, believe it or not, right?
No, it's not. I mean, $2.10 a gallon of gas. I can live with that if we can get people back to work.
If it provides jobs, I'm up for it down the line. We'll start whining when it gets back up toward $45 and $50 a barrel. Then we can whine again, right?
Exactly.
Overseas markets, everything's green. Asia responding positively to our optimism, and they were all up at the close. Europe is having a field day in Germany. They're up by over 3.8% midway through their day. Great British markets are about 1% up halfway through their day as well. Phillip, it's hard to predict what's going on, and the world events can affect your money. Sometimes we scare it to different places. Sometimes it just makes them sell. But it definitely puts a hurt on a retirement plan if you're getting close to retirement. How do I find you to stabilize mine?
Dave, I mean, we've seen some great number increases since that low back in the end of March. And so it's time for people to make sure that they don't have too much risk in their portfolio. Give us a call, 863-382-0037, 863-382-0037. Follow us online at statlerfinancial.com. And then follow us on Facebook, where we repost our conversation with Dave every day at Statler Financial Services. And then join us every weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m.
Oh, you got that slogan down good. And you
Amen.
find us too. That's it at newstalk730am.com. Phillip, thank you much. We'll catch you on the morrow. Fair enough?
All right, good deal, man. Have a great day.
You too. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler.
Hey, guys, I'm thankful to be with you today. I hope that your week is off to a great start. Remember, I'm here. If you need anything, if I can help you walk through your 401k, your IRAs, anything like that, dealing with your finances, the market, that's what I'm here for. Here to help. Give me a call, 863-382-0037. Have a great day. I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow.